Welcome back once again, wonderful people. Welcome back to Talk With TV channel. I will bring to you back-to-back updates. Now, people, I don't plan again with the Bonga news. They say I carry come, and the news will be they talk about them stock of gas. Martin Namdekano. Well, actually, we all know that Martin Namdekano is still under the state and DSS is still under their detention. Yes, he's still under detention, and now we dey look forward to his release. And the matter we carry me come here so. And I beg, but if na your first time wey be say you dey listen to this wonderful channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. That one dey very important. So anytime we get the first news update, you'll be the first to be notified. My people, and it's all about saying that how AGF created a stop against the trial of Martin Namdekano. In 2016, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime published a scholarly project document in a 691-page colorful condemnation titled Cases and Materials Under Extradition in Nigeria. This highly celebrated publication was accomplished with the assistance of the European Union, the Federal High Court, and several top lawyers from the Office of Attorney General of the Federation. Other project participants, including the eminent jurists who intellectually dwelt on extradition, which in the final analysis they contrast with extraordinary rendition with evidence disapproval. Former AGF Abubakar Malami, who had endorsed the project, wrote in the foreword to be published condemning that the condemnment consists of constitutional provision, legislation, subsidiary legislation, and judicial pronouncements, trades, and other international instruments on extradition as they relate to Nigeria. This is how the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation created an stop or legal barrier against the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, way before contradicting itself by endorsing Kanu's infamous extraordinary rendition. This estoppel is badly captured in the introduction to the compendium, which is reproduced below as verse. It is easy to confuse extradition with rendition. Rendition is a general term for all procedures, including extradition from returning wanted person or aliens general from a state, unlawful or irregular forms of returning persons wanted for trial or punishment include adoption and so-called extraordinary rendition. Extraordinary rendition is a government-sponsored arrest, kidnap, and adoption of persons wanted, accused, or convinced of a criminal offense, either to the state who sponsored the arrest, kidnap, or adoption, or to a willing third-party state. Extraordinary rendition denies a person of the right to challenge his transfer to the requesting or receiving state. It involves the violation of the principles of international law, especially where the person transferred are subjected to torture or sham criminal charges or trial. The Diko Affairs of 1984 is an example of an attempt at unlawful rendition after a court decided in 1983. The federal military government of Nigeria requested the British government to surrender Umaru Diko, a former minister alleged to have been involved in a corrupt practice. Before the British government responded to the request, an intelligence officer from Nigerian security forces with three Israel nations abducted Mr. Diko and attempted to cargo him to Nigeria in a crate. This attempt was foiled by the British security apparatus. The adopters were jailed, and the relationship between Nigeria and Britain became strained. Even though not successful, it was an attempt by Nigerians to go against the international norms in expressing its political will, and including his forward to this companion, the AGF Malami held the compendium as a very good resource material on extradition, and it's therefore my pleasure to recommend the cases and materials on extradition in Nigeria to all and sundry for use in identifying the position of the extradition law in Nigeria. Wonderful people, now don't hear about this extradition law, and we'll be saying that through this way, now they use the term Nnamdi Kanu, and the law will be looking to say that because like this, and say now law where they create with that, and through this law where they create, and so they can pretend Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, they say they create the law. And but wonderful people, aside from that, get another news where I go one like share with you now. Yes, I go one like share with you now before I go cut time. And I dey talk for years. So the military leader started Jacobo. I was hired by the former president Buhari to protest terrorists infested Abuja Kaduna Road. Now waiting at Sari Dokubo they talk saying he was hired by the last government. So be saying that and he was hired by the Supreme Head Court charges. Yes, that is what he said, and he was hired by the former president Buhari. Throughout Buhari's two tenure as president of Nigeria, the roadways was thought to be among the riskiest and most dangerous for travelers due to frequent kidnapping and killings. According to Asari Jakubo, a leader of the Niger Delta insurgents, Muhammadu Buhari's previous administration hired him to guide the Abuja-Kaduna route. Throughout Buhari's tenure as president of Nigeria, the road was thought to be among the weakest and the most dangerous of travelers due to the frequent kidnappings and killings. But in the twilight of the immediate past government, reports of violence crashed significantly accordingly to the Daily Trust when he paid a visit to President Bola Tinubu at Aso Rock last month. Dokubo had claimed that his footmen and combatants were responsible for the asset's stability. But in a recently released video, Dokubo posted that his intervention was what restored peace and tranquility to the highway. He stated that while there was not on good terms with Buhari for most of his government, the ex-president recognized the potential in him and reassigned him a critical duty. He was quoted by Daily Trust as saying, "If Buhari-led government can engage me to bring safety on the people, the Abuja Road, Kaduna, it should be commended. Do you know how many lives were saved? Do you know how many people were brought out from depression and trauma? Have you ever spoken to people who have been kidnapped, where we did not employ ourselves? The government saw the potential in us, and now knowing that we can deliver and engage, and they engaged us. That the Buhari engaged me shows that they know who I am. I was not a friend of Buhari. So for 7 years I was anti-Buhari, with all that saw the capacity in me that I am capable, and the government came. And I don't hear them now. They say, Oga aside Okuba don dey talk and say, Oga Buhari former administration, na Buhari, in fact, na Buhari himself, and na him employ him. Yes, say na him employ him and to help protect. And this, most of them they talk about this Kaduna Road and say that roadway, yes, say that one of the weakest and the most dangerous for travelers, and due to frequent kidnapping and killings. But aside talk about the talk, say the main reason why President Buhari employ am because he know say him sabi wetin dey do, and say he was never a friend to Buhari. Say it's because Buhari know what he's capable of doing. That was why he employed him. And say as they go there, as they start work, and say there was a lot of changes. And I call it ask say, do you know how many lives were saved? Do you know how many people who were brought out of depression? And I got to talk. Have you ever spoken to somebody who then kidnapped? If you speak to person who kidnapped, you don't know say some people they depressed. Now making the talk say during Buhari's situation, say he was a good he was working under Buhari and not his friend, and he was doing a job. He was assigned to do a job and which he delivered accurately on that job. But wonderful people when I don't hear and so I hear what we got and so I beg is my first time. So be say you they listen to this wonderful channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share.